wouldn't you know, Field Day just ended a couple of hours ago, and because not all of us did Field Day, all of us are. No, that didn't make any sense. Never mind. This is the European Ham Radio Show.
Making sense is not what we do at this show, is it?
I need to prepare my opening words a little bit more than it's getting apparent that I make those up during the intro.
Yeah, you need to do this like just as good as Jeremy Clarkson. Like you're basically the same. So
I'm trying to at least end it on a note, though, as Jeremy Clarkson does.
Yes.
On a bombshell.
On a bombshell, yeah.
Does that mean you have to actually beat down the cook, or
do we have a cook?
We had to get one if he's going to behave like Clarkson.
Yep.
We're
off topic already.
Yep. 1 minute and
so we need a sidekick like the stick, like a completely camouflaged ham doing really weird things, right?
Yeah, without a false sign.
Yeah.
So if you want to apply for the position of our ham radio steg, you can send us an application at cq@hamshow.eu.
This is going to be good.
Yeah.
So let's start with the ham radio week, though, because I know at least 4 of us won't have Field Day as their ham radio moment of the week. So we'll see how about the last one. But Tobias, what's your ham radio moment of the week?
I completely boycotted ham radio on the Field Day weekend and fiddled with my 3D printer. You can embiggen me for a second.
I'll embiggen you. I've had about 3 hours of sleep last night, so that's my excuse for it going slow today.
Yeah, no problem. So that's the underside of my 100-year-old Sawtrax M200 printer that torturing the Discord community with in the DIY channel. And as you can see, it's actually a quite nicely built and wired machine. And this weekend I wired the debug header. So basically the cable here going from the middle to the backside to that 3.5 millimeter connector. So that's the debug UART. And this is not an open source board. It's a closed source board. But I mean, all the printer boards pretty much look the same. I mean, you have your stepper drivers, and you have a few GPIOs, and you have to control the heater, and you have a temperature measurement for the bed thermistor and for the nozzle thermistor. So they all look pretty much the same. And in the end, hooray, this is my debug output. So now I can see what's going on with that Marlin firmware and also give it commands. What I have not managed to do is set the Z offset in any way. So there's like 2 or 3 or 4 different G codes, all to set your initial bed offset. So the initial offset between the nozzle and the bed. And whatever I try, I'm always scraping my PEI sheet. So it doesn't seem to have any effect at all. Or the Orca slicer puts some G code in that resets it back to 0. I don't know. I'm still struggling. So that's not ham radio at all. That's 3D printing, but that was my weekend.
But that is ham radio adjacent, though, Tobias. And we're the European ham radio and adjacent hobbies show.
That's pretty much everything.
So,
yeah.
But it is.
I think I spotted what's the problem with your printer there, Tobias. It seems to be lying on its side.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's why my Z offset is not right, because it's an X offset.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it is interesting to see you try to dig through what's now pretty old hardware, because like G codes, that's quite a few years since I've been messing around with doing that, but doing Marlin and
don't worry, your Bamboo Lab and they all still use the G code. It's all just hidden under a pretty interface, so it's all there.
Yeah, but usually you don't have to mess with it anymore. But it is fun
exactly. That's the thing you get when you buy a printer today. Everything is convenient and pre-dialed in. And,
3D printers.
I don't know.
have-
I'm just
have become
preparing
an-
myself, when I have the Prusa, right, Bob? So I have to know all the low-level bits.
I don't think you're going to need to know that with the Prusa. So that's it's been very good with that aspect of things at least. But Kjetil, I would say maybe not for 3D printers, but other things they still require fiddling with G-code. Only now you call it a processor that you run the G-code through, coming out of whatever software you use before you can send it to whatever is the machining device you have.
Oh yeah, when I started learning machining, I started writing G-code from scratch for the patterns. We were not allowed to use tools to generate it because that is cheating. So yes, but it is also something that I'm very happy I don't have to do every day anymore.
It's like assembly programming. Everyone should start with assembly programming and understand how it works. And once
It's very low level, but it's also pretty fun. Yeah, you have to have I have the laptop connected to the printer, and I can basically say go X100, and the head moves. It's funny.
It is so fun when you forget the decimal point and you go to 100.0 instead of 0.100, and you crash your CNC router into the wall or something. Don't tell me how I know this.
Don't worry, I've discovered a firmware misconfiguration in that Marlin firmware, and I crashed my nozzle into the bed 3 times, and I looked at the screen and everything was correct. I typed everything correct, but there's a bug in the firmware.
Yeah. And Marion says that she bets 3D printed parts were used at field day, so our tangent is acceptable.
Yes, and they quite a lot. So
yeah, I think we had a lot of 3D printed parts at least at our place. But yet again, is field day your ham radio moment of the week?
Yeah, indeed. Especially the part before the field day contest started, because I did some QRO POTA yesterday, and I was amazed to work the United States and Canada on a almost dead 20-meter band. I worked Steve, Victor Echo 1 Sierra Kilowatt, for example, and another station in New York, and the other station gave me a 5 and 5 with 800 to 900-ish watt on 20 meters, and later on 40 meters with a kilowatt. And boys, that was fun. I need an amplifier for my POTA activations. That is really, really fun. How often do you have the opportunity to do that? This is amazing. Yeah, and there was the field day contest phone, and there was also All Asia contest ongoing. In the afternoon, I sat at the station, did some QSOs in the field day contest, and within 5 minutes, everything was totally trashed. The band was totally dead. From 5.9 plus QRM and S5 QRN to nothing, zero, really, really nothing at all. The band was totally dead when this geomagnetic storm hit us yesterday afternoon. But there was also a 2-meter contest ongoing, and one of the guys had an 817 FT817 there, and so we worked a little bit 2-meter SSB contest with the 817 and with the stock antenna. That's fun. And also with a Quansheng in SSB. There is one big gun.
Is the Quansheng technically a DSB?
Yeah, but it works.
It's whatever sideband you prefer, actually.
Yeah. And I was wondering, there is one big gun station in Austria. The call sign is Oscar Echo 1 Whiskey, and I just want to share you the picture they sent us. Let's see. And here we go. Yeah.
Oh,
that's Oscar Echo 1 Whiskey. So
no
wonder. I mean,
just
they
are
are
setup.
Yeah. They worked. I listened to them for a while. They worked stations from all over Europe, including the UK, I picked up some UK call signs, and yeah, that's amazing. I mean, look at that. This is crazy.
Is that the temporary rigging for field day?
No, they have a contest station up there.
Okay, yeah, because
Yeah.
this seems like it's slightly complicated to get up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had. I mean, we had a pair of stacked 6-meter beams, but that's not even close to what
Yeah.
that picture looks like.
And that picture is clearly fake, right? I mean, they just extended the mast and did double exposure 12 times, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's
And,
true.
and,
yeah.
and shot it all on film because Photoshop does not exist yet.
No, one of
Exactly.
the operators there was Emir or Braco Echo 770X, if you know him. So that's the reason why they have such a setup. Okay, yeah, that was my ham radio moment.
That's
How are you?
pretty nice ham radio moment. Kjetil?
Yes, I've had a not very much ham radio, to be fair, except for the field day, because like midweek, I'm just gonna get some pictures here. But midweek, we had a bit of rain here in Norway, or quite a lot, to be fair, and it was so much that we got a message over from the cabins that some of the boats were starting to sink. Because they are supposed to have water on the outside and not the inside, or something like that. So sharing an image.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it up.
So this is my boat. It was on shore. It was drifting slightly offshore when I got it, but it was very close, and winds were gusting up to 20 meters per second. So that was kind of fun. Like I drove to the cabin in that crappy weather, and then got there and had to get this up on shore and empty. So that was fun. And
just for the people that don't know, when you empty that boat, did you do that with a little red thing floating in there? So that's probably going to take a while.
No, I used a bucket to get the worst of it, and then I got my petrol-powered fire pump that I bought earlier this year after the first fire, which pushes out, I think it's 3,000 liters per minute. And that emptied that one in half a minute. And then I went around like a crazy man, spraying everything with that water pump because it was so fun.
So what you pretty much did
you
was
filled your neighbor's boats with your water, right? No,
exactly what I was going to say.
No, the neighbors are far away, but yeah, it's fun and smart to have to play with, and I had gotten some new nozzles that I bought as well to test it. But that wasn't everything. So I did some radio out from the cabin. I did some filming as well. I filmed 3 videos, I believe, this weekend or this week. So there is something coming from me, which is something radio related. So that is kind of fun. And I also did field day from the veranda, and that is grape juice, as we discussed on to make Morten's advertisers happy. Gran Reserva grape juice.
Slightly fermented grape juice, right?
Yes, Gran Reserva fermented.
Yeah.
So I was sitting here until the sun set, and then there was just a insane amount of mosquitoes coming in. So I had to move indoors and did a few more hours there. And well, that was my field day. I had 2 antennas rigged up, and
so then you were participating in the single operator class then.
Yes, single operator, low power,
and inside house,
inside and outside the house.
Yeah, but isn't there a house category or cabin category? There are so many categories now. So
yeah, somebody who made the field day rules decided, we can add a rule that makes this so much more complex. Let's do that.
But where you spend your field day, even though that's divided into different classes, whether it's a tent, it's completely outside, inside a structure with walls, depending if it's 3 or 4 walls and such on, that doesn't matter. They don't separate that on the scorecard. They separate single multi-operator and QRP, low power and high power.
Yeah. So, but anyways, I operated from there and got a disappointing low number of Norwegian stations. I got Lima Alpha 1, Quebec Romeo Oscar, quite a few times. They were serious and they actually wanted Norwegian QSOs. And I think I got one other Norwegian field day station, and the rest I either never heard or didn't spot on any mode whatsoever.
We used 80 meters. We did a lot of Norwegian stations, but I think most of those were this morning, actually.
Yeah, I didn't do that much this morning.
No.
So, but I was kind of disappointed there were very few Norwegian stations to be heard. Of course, that could be the antenna or skip or whatever.
Yep.
But I also, as Jørgen mentioned, when I operated towards you, I had a QSO with Jørgen earlier, and or before field day, and he was doing that 800 watts Italian QRP thing of his, and he was barely readable. Victor Echo 1 Sierra Kilo over in Canada was significantly stronger than Jørgen in Austria. And I heard a net total of 0 German stations. Like that entire region was completely blacked out for me, which is so strange. So there was something funky going on with the funky amateurs in Germany. So,
yeah, we heard a lot of German stations today. Yesterday, we didn't hear a lot. Yesterday was kind of not very good.
Yeah.
So, and Peter, it's me that said the message, although it pops up as the European Ham Radio Show. But me, I do have a video on how to get started on POTA from finding a part to everything. But it's a couple of years old, so I might consider doing another one.
Yeah, I think there are some that has it. And you also have some local help here, Petter, if you want to do, especially since I saw you were out activating in a 2 for POTA just before field day. So have fun with that. By the way, there's also one very close to where you live, which popped up a few weeks back.
Speaking about Petter, we had an 80-meter QSO with him while he was out walking his dog, which people found strange until I told them that Petter runs through remote, so that kind of explains it.
Yeah, he also
but he talked about walking his dogs while out on 80 meters.
He also almost destroyed my speakers once when I was doing SOTA. Within line of sight of his house on 15 meters. So, yeah, well, that was very much off topic from me. So I think I'll send it over to the guy between us, Martin.
I was going to say you were pretty much on topic. Actually, you talked about radio things.
Oh, should I get some off topic stuff as well? Then never mind.
We have plenty of time later on. Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah,
no field day for you, but what was your ham radio moment of the week?
There's a couple of small things. Let's see if I can manage to share. I published a video, which is for once doing quite all right. I think I spoke briefly about this last week. I tested the different antennas. I got sort of a negative comment on that. That's one of the thumbnails for that video, by the way. Some people felt that was sort of clickbaity, but I can't really understand why. This is a perfectly normal thing to say. But yeah, I'm testing genuine antennas from the likes of Diamond and Nagoya, and the copies that you can buy for less than 10% off eBay and AliExpress. And turns out there is quite a difference, at least for some of them. At least one of the antennas on that picture is pretty much a dummy load. So yeah, I've been having fun with that. I've ordered some new antennas because I really had fun doing this test. So I'm going to do some more tests. I've ordered some genuine ones from Christech, and of course some more copies from AliExpress. So that's been going on, and also there's been field day. The Lima Alpha 1 Tango went for field day, and my friend Mihai, Lima Bravo 9 Hotel India. Yeah, he needed a remote control for the voice keyer in the 7300. And he asked if I said I may have some switches for you. This was at our club meeting. And I got home and I thought, just giving him 4 switches, that's really boring. So I went a little bit overboard, and I actually created the entire thing. All he needed to do was wire it up. I haven't heard from him whether or not it worked, but yeah, I'm maybe he's in the chat, so he can tell us. Else, I'm sure I'm going to hear sometimes during the week. That was a fun project. It's a one-off type thing, but that was fun, and I think I'd like to make a proper one of these, both for the 7300 and for a couple of other radios, because it's a nice thing to have. Even if you're just doing summits on the air, it's nice to use the voice keyer when conditions are difficult.
At least if you don't have a flex, which strangely enough does not have a voice keyer.
And if you do bring a flex to a summits on the air activation, then I think the lack of a voice keyer would not be your biggest concern. So,
I can say that for my activation or the field day weekend now, and quite a lot of other activations now, I've been using the built-in voice keyer of the FT891 quite a lot. So I would like to have something like this with multiple buttons as well. I know there are options, and some persons may have made videos on those, but it is so nice to have it, like especially like when people can't understand your calls and you just click, and they can hear it.
Yeah. Because I've done probably 200 activations with combined parks and summits with the 891, and I really never found the voice keyer in the menu. Because the menus are made by Yacy, sadly, but apparently you found them, so I'm guessing they work fine.
Oh, it's really easy to set up. As long as you follow the right guides, it tells you which 15 menu options you have to click, and then it works.
Everything.
It's
nuclear
just
physics. It's easy once you know how. That's it. Knowing how that.
It's just like setting up a 991A to work with N1MM and Digimodes and log everything correct and do cat control.
Yeah,
that took about an hour of Googling.
Yeah, that's pretty quick with that 891.
I'll keep you in mind, Kjetil. I have that radio as well. So that might be a very good candidate for creating one of these. If I do sit down to create something, I'm going to create something that you can use on multiple radios, or a design that works on multiple radios. So that would be fun. And doing all these 3D printing, we've been on a really 3D printing trip, sort of on the show for the last few weeks, and I started buying some more filament for the 3D printers, and turns out if you keep your filament in a cupboard, you may not always know exactly what you have. So to remedy that, I've done some carpentry. This is really not radio related, but I actually built some shelves to put the filament in, so that if you count the number of orange spools in there, you'll see that I'm probably going to recoup the money I spent building that shelves pretty quickly by not ordering more orange filament. So,
and I'm impressed you utilized the space behind the door.
Yeah, that's.
I actually saw some kind of, it was either on Facebook Reels or YouTube Shorts or something. So one of those really bad home improvement videos, which usually don't have any sensible tips, but it was about utilizing the space behind your door. So I was really impressed to see that you did that.
Yeah, that could of course be that's because that's the only place left in my workshop. As you can see, it's pretty full, the rest of it, and you're only seeing parts of it. But yeah, that was some radio related and some vaguely radio adjacent things. No field day for me because I had other things that I needed to attend this weekend. Hopefully I'll get to join a field day next year. And as I told Morten, I'm thinking of actually joining his club because they seem to be doing field day really, really well. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I'm guessing that leaves you, Morten, and I have a feeling that your radio moment might be field day related. So
I said or probably just one of us will have a field day ham radio moment. So I'm going to get to the field day, but I want to get to the real ham radio moment of the week, because on Wednesday, I think it was, I took a trip across the Oslo fjord and met up with you, Bob. We did a PODA in really terrible conditions. That was not the ham radio moment of the week. And then you invited me to the club meeting, the same meeting where Mihai said he needed the buttons for that box for the 7300. That was not the ham radio moment of the week either. The ham radio moment of the week was when you was demonstrating your SPTX, and one of the guys in your club came up to you and said, well, you buy radios like the rest of us buy bread. That was my ham radio moment of the week.
I think I missed that, but yeah, he must not, or he must not usually have fresh bread around, I would guess, because it's not really that bad. But yeah, that was the SPX was just it was back in stock, and it's not an awfully expensive radio, and it's a really interesting radio, so I just couldn't help myself. But
I was just making a joke though, Bob, because it was such a good comment when it just dropped there.
It should be said that this only 2 weeks ago I did a presentation on the FTX one as well, so that might have been part of the reason he thinks I buy radios like bread. But normally it's very, very seldom, more than once a month, I buy a new radio, so it's not that bad.
So, but you're really welcome to join our club, though, Bob. And like Joachim says here, it's not a choice; it's a commitment.
Yeah, very good. That's
you have to go all the way through the steps until you get your patch and can really be a full member.
Yep. I can live with that.
But back to field day. We had really much fun this field day. That is actually my real ham radio moment of the week. Because and this is strangely on topic 4 minutes too early.
Oh my god!
But as Jürgen said, band conditions were not the best this year, and that was a challenge, to put it mildly. We ended up doing a lot of digimodes. We didn't get as many multipliers as last year, which was a little bit tricky, and it didn't seem like we did very well. The thing is, though, in worse conditions than we've had in 3 years, we managed to beat last year's score with 100,000 points. We had 752 QSOs when I took this picture, and then we had about 20 QSOs after I took this screenshot. But you can see that there is some strange propagation going on. We have only 3 stations from North America. We almost have no Asia, no BK, no Zulu Lima, which usually are bankers on field day. So that was weird. But thanks to the QO100 station, we actually managed to recoup some of those points and do pretty well. I think my highlight QSO was the one in San Francisco that you see there, which I did on a pretty much dead and noisy 20-meter band this morning, and just picked out that station. He was calling CQ contest, and I'm guessing the contest was not field day, but he was just so excited to get a Lima Alpha station that he ran me anyway.
Yeah, there was lots of people asking for, "What's your age? What's your age?"
Oh, that's the all Asian content, and that was also a factor. So I started doing this. I said, for field day, your serial number is this, and for all Asia contest, I'm 48 years old.
Yeah,
and I did that for every station, which I wasn't sure was in either. And then you had some countries like Turkey, which we had stations some stations did field day and some stations did all Asia contest, and both of them said CQ contest.
Yeah. So that's when you just give number anyways. But you mentioned that ZL and VK were bad, but this morning I heard plenty of them on 20 meters on FT8 and FT4.
Oh, we heard them.
Yeah,
no worries. We heard them. We just couldn't run them.
Yeah, I wasn't spotted once down there on RBN, so that's kind of interesting.
But I have to say though that field day was a success with about 25 people dropping by. The hardcore was about, I think we were 10 or 12 people that stayed the entire 24 plus hours. First couple hours before the contest setting up, and then a couple hours after the contest tearing down. But I really want to thank everyone that participated and just got there and made this such a great event. And I know we do field day a little bit more serious than a lot of other clubs. So field day is my ham radio moment of the week, my real ham radio moment of the week.
Well, that's fun.
Excellent going. And I don't think you mentioned, but Morten's also made a short little video. So
I did, and let me see if I can just pull that up here because there's a little bit of a catch to field day this year because YouTube YouTube videos are permitted as media content on the Norwegian Field Day this year. And don't worry, Owen, I'm going to mention your battle for the XQ3 station after a little while. I'm just going to share my screen here. Let's see how this is. There we go. And we get 1,000 points for a YouTube video, and then we get 10 points per additional click or per additional like. So, and that's only for the next week. So please go ahead and hit that like button on that video. We really want to win.
Yes.
I'd also recommend watching it, because it was very cool to see the setup and how you did it. So very nice video, very nice summary. It's only 10 minutes long. So
Yep. And it was a bit of a rough edit, because since we only have a week to collect likes, I felt that I needed to get it out as soon as possible. So 3 hours after Field Day finished, this video was posted. Let's see if I can remove this thingy again. Field Day was great. You have a video that you've linked to there, Kjetil. What's that?
That's my Field Day video.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, so click like on that as well.
Give Kjetil a like as well. And now on to Owen Overcomes some Bushcraft's XQ3 battle. I think an XQ3 is chilly, I think. And I think he spent an hour just replying to that. And they came back in portable station, go ahead. And then there was, of course, some Delta Lima portable station. And then he tried once more, and portable station, please come back. And I think it took him an hour, but he managed to log the station in the end.
This was on sideband or CW?
That was on sideband, yeah.
Where is XQ3?
It's Chile, I think.
Chile, okay. That is kind of cool.
So South America. And Stian LB3FJ, he tried to get a VK on FD8 for about an hour, I think. He really wanted that VK station. So I think that hurt our total score a little bit, those two.
You worked the Falkland Islands and what band and mod?
I don't know who worked the Falklands. I think it was in 15 meters. I think it was in Digimodes. And actually, he didn't get the Chilean station. So,
like for comparison for that, I think for me my total was 70 or 80 QSOs, including Digimode ones. So that's pretty slow going. The funniest mode I did, there's also a Russian RITI contest going on this weekend. So I was running a lot of RITI. Which I love RITI. Like the sound is so beautiful and annoying after 10 seconds.
Can you decode it by ear yet?
No, so I can't start with the CW thing yet.
No.
It is really fun.
As I understand it, is probably the Stian. Congrats, Stian. Please tell us, confirm the mod and band as well. But I think RITI is the dumbest mode to work on battery power, isn't it?
Well, it's not efficient.
No, not even a little bit.
No, but it is when you get it up and running, it works. And there was a lot of stations calling just CQ tests or contests, so I expect that was Field Day.
Yeah. And I just got to say, though, those 752 QSOs, those were an HF. In addition to that, we had a QO100 station that did about 140, 150 QSOs. And we had a 2 meter and 6 meter station that also did an unknown number of QSOs. But I think that went pretty good as well.
Fun. What about you, Jürgen? How did you go down in Austria? You're so wise. Very quiet.
You're muted. You're muted, Jürgen. Still muted in the software.
Yeah. Here we go. Sorry. I've left today at noon, so I don't know what's the total QSOs they made. They did only a phone, I have to say. No RTTY or no FD8 or something like that. I cannot tell you. I have to ask. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Kjetil, if you like RTTY, I may have something. I'm not sure if we still have it somewhere. It's an old PK232, if you know that, the multimode data controller, the Packrat.
No, I have no idea. I remember I'm kind of new at this.
Box this size, let's say, with some LEDs on the front, and maybe you like it. Look it up on Google. It's from AEA, yeah. PK232 multimode data control. It's very old, and you can do, I think, packet radio and RTTY, but it's fun.
I see someone below, above you is Googling already.
Yeah.
I just want to say, when you're having field day, it's not only radio; it's also discussing food and beverage. And let's see if I can find, because I got a tip yesterday about some very special rum.
Especially when you have a geomagnetic storm, then
Yeah,
what else should you do?
And I just have to post this. I think this is the best rum ever.
Oh, the QRM one.
Because I had a bottle of single malt that I let everyone have a drink or three of, and I said it was
Nice.
QRO water, and then one of the guys said, "Do you know that there's a rum called QRM?"
I think I've heard operators that has had too much of that. So,
Yeah.
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 This is a must for next year's field day.
Yeah. So one of the funniest things I heard during this was either somebody who forgot their Vox on, or a pirate music station on 40, which, like, you hear them every now and then, but it's kind of interesting. This was quite modern music as well, from the 2000s.
Marin asked, how was food this year? Let's start with you, Kjetil. How was the field day meal this year?
I had to make it myself. So I didn't have a fancy chef like you guys had, but my main course was actually on the Friday, and at the cabin, we have a gas range or gas stove. In Norway, most people cook with electricity, so gas is kind of different. But so I made a pork steak with the crackling or whatever it's called on top. Really lovely, with some sauce and potatoes and some green stuff I put in there for show, and had a glass of very good wine to that. So that was my my proper dinner. Yesterday I just did some simple food.
That's not half bad. Jürgen, what did you eat for field day?
When I arrived there, I started with an Hungarian goulash, and then coffee, cookies, lots of cookies, and of course we had a cook there, or two of them, two cooks, and barbecue all day long.
Ooh, that sounded nice.
Nice, yeah.
Okay, Morten, I may reconsider whose club to join for field day.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to our meal yet, though. We've had stew for the last couple of years because that is easy to prepare for an unknown amount of people. But we figured we'd switch things up. So we had tacos this year, where everyone could just pick from a buffet what they liked and didn't, or preferably not what they don't like. But so everyone was happy. And of course, we had cooked too much meat for the taco. So I think the cook is going to have leftover tacos for at least a week. And then Marin also mentions that their safety officer would never allow them to have alcohol during field day.
We don't drink alcohol here in Europe. We drink beer, we drink wine.
Yeah,
but no alcohol. Or schnapps.
And it says it's ARRL required. She makes sure all wires are marked, have a lighting plan, etc. Oh, that is something we don't have.
But there is a requirement in Norway as well. Every club has to have that, but that is mostly with regards to climbing into masts and stuff like that. Which of course you should not do while drunk, because that could be dangerous.
But seriously, we don't have any beer, wine, QRM rum, or Scotch whiskey during rigging. We have it.
Just before.
When we've had.
No.
Yeah, we've had it when we started the proper field day and need to actually just relax a little bit.
Yeah, and that's also quite the. Yeah, Jürgen.
Yeah, when you drink a lot of this QRM rum after the third or maybe fourth or fifth bottle, you have the QRT rum.
Yeah. But now we're sounding,
QRM, QRN, and QRT.
Yeah, but now we're sounding like very drinking people, and there's also something like when you're operating radio, you don't have to be sober, but also
you cannot be drunk.
You cannot be really drunk. But having one beer is not an issue. But of course, you have to operate safely. In our operating procedures, it says nothing about alcohol whatsoever. But you will probably break some either unwritten rules or some rules that are written in some other way that you should be somewhat not drunk.
Coherent.
Yeah, coherent. Yes.
Yeah.
If coherent was a requirement for operating ham radio, then a lot of people would lose their licenses.
Yeah, let's would be banned.
Let's put it this way: I brought 9 beers to field day, and I brought 6 of them back.
Yeah.
Yep.
And regarding that bottle of scotch, I think we were about somewhere close to 20 people yesterday, and I think about half of the bottle disappeared. So not a lot of alcohol consumption actually.
But for example, if you go to, for example, a meetup where the focus is other things than just radio, then there's something else.
I've seen people drink champagne and operate Poda.
Yes.
Yeah, I wonder who that was.
If you look at the video, it is Bård who did that, or Bob.
No.
I think Bob has the bottle beside him, but he never touches the glass. Someone else in this, I was going to say in this room, but in this virtual room, actually lifted the glass or tried, because every time he tried to lift the glass, someone got back to his CQ.
Oh yeah, good times. But I do think it's really nice to have this. Did any of you guys have civilians or moguls or whatever you call them, people that aren't licensed?
I think the rules refer to them as recruits.
Oh, okay.
And yes, we did.
Okay.
I'm not sure how many we had, but we had enough to max out the recruit points.
Nice. Were they there the entire weekend?
One of them was.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had a couple that were there for most of yesterday, and then we had a couple that there were most of today.
Yeah, that's nice.
So we did a great job of promote, or I didn't. Mostly LB7VJ from Comms and Bushcraft did a good job of promoting ham radio. He took his time. He showed what radio was, how to do FT8, how to do sideband, and explained everything.
Nice.
So for field day, you actually get points for just sticking around unlicensed people?
Yes.
Yep.
So
they have to be.
Points. I may have some points for field day as well, even though I didn't come near a radio.
You have to be a club, and there has to be. They have to do radio during under supervision, or
it does not need to be. It does not need to be club. It needs to be a multi-operator station.
Yeah, multi-operator, but more than one person.
Yeah,
two licensed operators minimum, and they can help in rigging and so on. There's lots. Like somebody went to town in making this as complicated as possible with different options.
Yeah, there is a rule. Has to be present for 6 hours, but does not need to operate for the entire period. And then you have can be present for 1 hour, but needs to operate for the entire hour, just to make sure that it's as complicated as possible.
Yeah, so present would be sleep.
It's just a matter of time before we have to register 15 months in advance, like they do in Germany, to take part of this.
1 week in advance, but still.
Okay. I found a picture of what Jürgen was talking about, so I just want to show that up before I forget. It's a very, very cool device, Jürgen. That's that's.
I think we have.
I don't know if it sees much use anymore, but it's a very, very cool device.
Just if you want to do packet radio or RTTY. I think there's a built-in packet radio mailbox as well.
Yeah.
I
They
actually looking at that. I think I stumbled upon Facebook today and one of the many ham radio groups, which is not very helpful at times. And there was a guy there saying that SSTV was only fun if you build your own decoder from discrete components.
I tend to agree that at least it would be much more fun if you do that.
Yep.
But,
including the CRT.
For slow scan, you can probably use a printer.
Yeah, but it's more fun with a CRT.
Yeah, probably. And build your own CRT as well, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Blowing the tube and sucking out the vacuum.
It's not fun if you buy a ready-made monitor. You need to build your own.
Yeah. Through that. Yep.
and please don't. If you don't know what you're doing, please do not fiddle around with CRT devices. Just don't. I need to put this in case someone else is liable for this.
Well, the
Morten
CRT
said I should put the screwdriver into the high voltage power supply.
the CRT itself is not the issue. It's the high voltage part, which is right.
Yeah.
But in case you don't know what you're doing, you don't know which is the high voltage part probably, and then you shouldn't fiddle around with it. Robbie comments SSTV connected to a 3D printer. I'm not sure how that would work, but it's slow enough that a 3D printer should be able somehow to replicate it.
I don't know either, but it's something I'd love to see.
Yeah.
It
Tobias, you're messing around with 3D printers nowadays, so maybe you could play with that, but it shouldn't be that hard. Yeah, as long as you do it in black and white only. It wouldn't be color. So you would have to receive it and grayscale it.
He's already thinking how to do it.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm actually. But I mean, usually your filament only has one color, so you have to do it by thickness, right? And then backlight the whole printed picture. And the thicker it is, the darker your pixel gets. But I'm not sure my printer could do it. It's way too slow, even for SSTV.
Oh, lovely.
And that says a lot about Tobias's printer, by the way.
Yeah. So
just one question regarding SSTV. If you want to ask if the frequencies in use, do you do that with an image?
With a big question mark, black and
did
white.
you send an image with the text, is this frequency in use? And then you need to send it a couple of times first.
But that is like one of the fun things with SSTV. You frequently hear like multiple people at the same time. And same was this morning at the contest on 80 is always crazy, like 2 or 3 stations calling CQ on the same frequency and not having a clue the other person is on there.
I had a QSO today I had 2 QSOs back to back. Apparently, neither of those stations were actually talking to me. They were having a QSO with each other, but we went through all the steps, so I might have logged them.
Yeah. Marion asks how we could use SSTV on field day, and it would just go as a normal digi mode operation.
I don't know how the ARRL rules are regarding modes though, but in Norway Norway has digi modes just for every digi mode.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. But we deemed SSTV too slow to actually use for field day.
Yeah.
Strictly SSTV is not a digital mode, it's analog television, but
it actually is, but it's considered a digital mode.
Yeah, you can use digital SSTV. But I also tried the JT65, but I didn't get any feedback this time. That is also very slow, but it's also so fun.
Yeah, and Ted says that counts in his book, and I'm guessing it's the two operators that I kind of got in the middle of the QSO with, or technically I was calling CQ on that frequency, so
Yeah,
they were on my frequency.
they probably just had a sked and you got in the way.
They were
Yeah.
exchanging numbers though, so we had a proper exchange of numbers.
Oh yeah. There are a lot of people that go to field day that don't do lots of other contests. And you
Yeah.
do see that in the operating style on a lot of these people. Also heard some of the ones today that are the ones that do 0.1 milliseconds between their CQ calls, because that's
on the voice gear. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's so hard to know exactly when to squeeze in so they hear a sound and stop the voice gear.
Yeah, you just have to run over them and
the thing is, if they run a voice gear on repeat, you know exactly when the next cycle's going to start. So you know when this cycle's going to end.
If it sounds like it's just a constant loop going.
Yeah,
but it's got a beginning and it's got an end, and you just have to start your pass before the end of theirs.
Yeah, but some of these, like in N1MM, the lowest you can set is 0.1 second, which is what people set it to as well. Some people do it at that or 0.5 seconds. So they just run it, and you have to basically run over them and hope that they hear you between, because your voice gear is not quick enough.
I mean, if their voice gear is CQ field day, this is or CQ field day Delta Lima 0 FU, and trust me, that's a real call sign. I logged it today. If that's the only message and it goes with a tenth of a second between it,
yep,
you can't really pick up where that space is.
No.
Well, you know from the context, because you understand the language, you know what he's saying, and when he's starting to say it again, when it makes sense that repeats.
Yeah, you actually at some point you do, but it takes a whole lot more time.
Yeah, I agree. It's not a smart thing to do. It's not a smart thing. But then again, I've seen people operate where they wait close to a minute between CQ calls, and that's not really effective either.
Yeah, and it's the same as the ones that then have a 2-minute CQ call, where they call CQ, and they talk for 2 minutes, and then they listen for half a millisecond, and then they start calling again.
Yeah.
And
but feel
we're not judgmental, not at all on this.
No. And we might be bad operators ourselves.
Oh, of course, we do some really bad, not on purpose.
And I mean, I'm guilty of just doing one contest, and that's field day. That's the only contest I do regularly. But then again, I take field day very, very seriously.
Yep. I believe everybody can do mistakes with this, but it's also something we could try to teach people as well.
And then some people are just not able to learn from their mistakes.
Yeah. So and people like to do things differently, and of course, there is no, or for many of these things, there is no default for how you should do it.
But just one question: if let's call it a French station calls CQ contest.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mention which contest it is.
Yep.
And you say your call sign, and he says, well, I'm only doing all Asia contest. I say, thank you. Your number is 11. Back to you. And then he says, 7-3. Is that a valid QSO or not?
In the Norwegian rules, yes.
Yep.
You didn't get a signal report, and that's okay for the Norwegian field day rules?
Signal report and contest is always 5-9, though.
Yeah.
Well, you still some rules specify that you need to exchange them, even though that's just always 5-9.
Yeah, I didn't log that station though, but I was tempted to do it, to put it that way.
Yeah.
Because I actually had a meaningful exchange with the fella, except he probably didn't log me.
Yeah. Some of these people started, or I heard more people calling CQ All Asia later in the day. So quite a few of them probably understood that there's more than one contest, but it is very common that you should call which contest you're in, and most contests will specify what you should call as well.
Yeah. And I heard a couple of stations said CQ Field Day and All Asia contest.
And Petter, yes, I used voice key in the FT891.
I think he wants to hear what you think of using it as well.
Once it's set up, it's really nice to use. I would like to have a keyboard, an external keyboard for it, so that I can have more buttons. But other than that, it is. I would have preferred to set it up in N1mm, but I was too lazy to connect the headset.
I know. I've learned this weekend where the Yaesu engineers go when they're fired. Well, they start contributing to N1mm. That is the least user-friendly piece of software out there. Sorry.
No, N1MM is so easy to set up when it comes to voice keyer and so on. It is really good for multi-operator stations. You just have to know how to use it.
So is the VI text editor. Really easy when you know how to use it. So.
Yes.
It's just the 8 million keyboard shortcuts that you need to learn for Vim, for Emacs, and for DaVinci Resolve. It's all not a problem, right?
No. You can do your entire contest logging in Vim as well.
And I when you say keyboard shortcuts, I just want to say that this is not a very good keyboard in order to use keyboard shortcuts. It lacks a lot of keys which are helpful for shortcuts. It does, however, on my very compromised space here, take up very little room.
Yeah. If you go to, for example, Lima Alpha 4 Charlie, you'll have the shortcuts printed on the keyboard.
Tobias had a similar keyboard there.
Show us your keyboards.
Yeah, show us your keyboards. Now we have to embiggen it a bit.
Let me see. Let's start with Tobias, because his keyboard doesn't blur away.
Well, it blurs a bit, but I can fix that with the mouse when I find the right.
That looks similar to mine, except that it's not a mechanical keyboard. And you actually have arrow keys. Mine does not have arrow keys. Mine requires a combination of the FN key, Alt, the Windows, one of the Windows keys, Control, and another key.
So basically, you have to press 7 buttons to do one key press for a sideways motion?
Yes.
Lovely.
And that gets tricky when you edit text. Let me tell you that. Let's have a look at Jürgen's keyboard. Let's see. That was the wrong button. Let's have a look at Jürgen's keyboard. That's an Apple keyboard. That actually has the keys.
A very nice keyboard.
Yeah.
That's probably the second best keyboard in the world. The best one is, of course, I could put it right side up. See if we can do this without it turning transparent.
Let's see. And Bob, I have to ask you, because I saw that keyboard when I went to your club meeting. Where do you get one of those?
Well, any place that sells ThinkPad accessories. So just search for ThinkPad keyboard and you'll find it.
I need to get one of those, because that was a really nice compact keyboard.
That is the best keyboard in the world, and once you get used to it, you really can't work on anything else. And it's got that. If we keep it polite, it's got a track thing in the middle, that little red thing. That I have another name for it, but I'm not gonna use that here.
No, we all know what you mean, though.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, a bloody brilliant keyboard. I can't recommend that enough. I have that for all my computers everywhere. That's Just,
I wish to have one of these old IBM Model F keyboards, the mechanical ones.
The ones that came with the PS2s?
Yeah. With this clicky sound, they are great.
Oh yeah, I that sound is the best sound ever.
That sound is the best sound ever for the typists. For everyone else, it's bloody murder.
There is a reason why I have a mechanical keyboard at home, but not one in the office. Let's put it that way.
So you torture your family, but not your coworker?
Exactly.
All right. Yeah.
Marion had a comment here back, which I highlighted, and then someone else highlighted some other comment. It's a big debate in the U.S. as to whether Field Day is a contest or not. Here is no debate. Field Day is a contest.
Yeah.
At least in Norway, it's defined as a contest.
But we're still allowed to operate on 60?
Yep. Which is really strange.
Yeah.
This is very strange.
But you're not allowed to go on 17 and 12 meters.
No, and you're not or 30 meters.
Yep.
But you're also not allowed the Norwegian band plan constitutes that during an international contest you can use 100 watts on the entire 160 band, but not on field day.
Like 1 kilowatt on the entire fixed.
Yeah, 1
160
kilowatt on contest. Otherwise, you're limited to only 10 watts on most of the band.
Yeah, you have like 10 kilohertz or something for SSB. It's insanely narrow. And
Yeah.
when FT8 came in, it took half of that.
Yeah.
So
But you're saying we can work 60 but not 30, so that if you just make sure you have really bad filtering, then maybe you can work 30 on the first harmonic from 60.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that counts, Bob. And you still have to hear the guys.
Let's see.
You're allowed to listen to the VARC bands on a contest, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like operating split.
Yeah. But
It's
they.
operating 2 frequencies at once. It's a twofer.
It's twice the points.
Double the QSOs.
Yeah.
And Kjetil, since you were the N1MM expert, how do you log a contact which you operate on 2 bands at the same time?
That would constitute a cross band or cross mode, which is specifically forbidden in the contest rules.
That's a very good point.
Yes.
Yes.
But you can also go in and edit it manually. There's no way to do it properly there.
I see we're past the hour mark. I actually thought this field day show with only 3 of us actually doing field day would be slow, but it wasn't. It was a lot of tangents though, and it's probably apparent to everyone that this show is not scripted.
No.
I just want to say that next week we have a special guest, and I'm just going to find the channel here and pop it up on screen because that's the fastest growing YouTube channel I've ever seen. Let's put that up on screen here. So we're having Elle Marie from She's on Frequency over next week to talk about how it is to be a new ham and starting a YouTube channel. So we're really looking forward to that. I've never seen a ham radio channel grow that fast.
How long did you take to reach 1,000, Martin? That was more than 1 week for you, right?
It took I think it took 118 videos in 18 months.
Yeah.
It was not 1 video and 1 week, to put it that way.
Nope.
No. So looking forward to having her on, and then we have some more shows coming forward. If you want to know what comes forward, just rewind a couple of weeks. We'll talk about this season.
Yeah.
And on that bombshell, someone talked about Jeremy Clarkson either backstage or at the beginning of the show. So
I think it was backstage.
on that bombshell, thank you guys very much for watching. We'll see you down the bands, and we'll see you next week. 7-3 all.
7-3.
Bye bye.
Back to studio.
Bye.